I just want to place for another. Thank you all. There is great responsibility in every home with a great mind. Now I enter the COE, a part of the business administration for all developments. The glory of our and initially acknowledge the second life. No matter what we know, they are not that can never be us. And we extremely honored to welcome you all for the international conference. Transformation through collaboration and reinvention business practices and community. Localization and economic development have also created changes in the field of business. We practitioners have been able to personally expand and further opportunities for school. This confidence creates for a platform for students and scholars to develop their ideas and learn to keep capabilities and practices. I deliver literary programs for giving practices to the community. I listen my to our channel through daily participation, managing the director of the creating Shasun, creating and creating Jain. For even constant support for all available. I deliver specifically Dr. Amri, deliver principles of Sankarlal, head of development, staffers, and scholars international conference. I am promoting modern learning of architecture, necessarily I demonstrate all students, scholars, administrators, and experts to the impact of this training. Deliver forward. Good morning. On behalf of our Chairman and Union March, to I say very warm welcome to our guest, Shri, I am Sundarbai, and all others on the and all times. I visited Shri and Shasun, Sundarbai, Shasun, Jain, the common aim to provide all to all the academic researchers and research partners to exchange and share experiences and research ideas in developing and redefining strategies, sustainable practices, social innovations in the environment. The rapid technological changes and increased globalization has further enhanced and market conditions that clearly define competitive conditions. Performance feeding and practice are related of significant criteria in order to provide perspective of the global perspectives on subject matter. Today, there are 500 speakers giving key lectures. 8 distinguished researchers sharing presentations, and around 9 research papers are going to be presented during this conference. Next day, Monday was found to go innovation that we want to have I appreciate your appreciation and wish everyone more a successful and warm experience. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for your welcome. I am really the answer of the national I the of international conference
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible? Good morning. Ma'am, just a second. Ma'am, can you talk now? Good morning, everyone. Am I audible? Once again, once again. Ma'am, now can you start? Can you hear me? Good morning. Can you hear me? Yes, yes, ma'am, we can hear you. Okay. Are you gonna project? Sorry, ma'am. Kirti, are you gonna put project? Present பண்ண தெரியும். இதையும் மியூட் பண்ணிடுங்க ஷர்மிளா.
We also have the intimate chat the proposition that which was Indian activity like we move on to our children practicing places for non-activity. Currently, the function of the state on the practical. Now, I request Mr. Lee to get Thank you, sir, for your day. I take the privilege of introducing our speaker, the Vietnam National Manager, IT Block Transmission OCC, and the Association Program President, Rama College. The speaker of which has started as a customer service and each level as a finance manager. The speaker of which has completed MBA in finance, merger and acquisition from pillars of value. She joined OCC earlier ago as associate principal in the finance department. Prior to OCC, she has spent 10 years in various finance roles at Visa, AR Auction, ECPS, and Nationals. A representative and accounting professional with demonstrated plans in budgeting, forecasting, and reporting. A proven aptitude in using strong communication and interpersonal skills to work with the cross-functional teams. A resourceful and versatile person who enhances operations for one and meets and executes short and long objectives. I will now try to the speaker deliver the questions. Now I enter solely deliver the key.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. Kitty, are you going to project my presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Can I start in the meantime? Good morning, everyone. Good morning to the delegacy of the conference. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to address each one of you today. It is my privilege and honor to be part of this international conference. Once again, thank you. And I always say in my keynote speaking that I do to the universities in India that I am no stranger to the Indian community, as my legacy is there in India. So thank you, and if I can continue with my presentation. I was tasked to speak on the transformation through innovation and reinvention in business practices. Transformation, Kirti, if we can move to the next slide. Transformation versus innovation. As you all know, that we were thrown into the deep end when it came to the COVID-19 pandemic, and institutions as well as organization had to transform and reinvent the way we did our work. And we know that being face to face, we had to reinvent and be innovative and move to online classes. So, therefore, transformation and innovation are buzzwords in the current landscape. They are treated as synonyms and used interchangeably to describe anything from streamlining a company process to installing a new computing system to developing an entirely new department. Now, we experienced that during COVID-19, and we're currently experiencing where companies want to move and be competitive with the next competition. So therefore, they will invent and will innovate new programs, new ways of teaching, and new ways of learning, especially in the tertiary institutions. Thank you. If I can move on to the next slide, please. Transformation, therefore, is the active process of changing in composition, structure, character, or condition. Now, we've seen that many organizations worldwide have transformed and have moved into a new way, or should I say, a new normal of doing things in their business processes. Next slide, please. Innovation, therefore, is the introduction of something totally new, something that will make a change into the organization or institution, such as a new operating program or a new system to do the work effectively and efficiently. Innovation versus transformation. Transformation and innovation are both essential concepts for the success of any organization in today's rapidly changing business environment. Transformation, therefore, refers to the process of fundamentally changing an organization's business model, processes, and culture to adapt to new technologies, markets, and consumer demand. Transformation is something that can never happen overnight. It's a process in which transformation takes place, maybe months or even years to put into effect. Whereas innovation, on the other hand, is about creating new products, services, or processes that add value to customers and differentiate an organization from its competitors. For example, we went online, and various institutions have used different programs and different apps to stream online. For example, the Teams has been used widely by institutions to stream online. So that's a new product in South Africa that has helped us to work efficiently and effectively from home. And I'm sure it's the same there in India, where this particular app has worked efficiently. How can we distinguish between transformation occurring or innovation needed? Kirti, if you can move to the next slide, please. Transformation, in its truest sense, is precision work. It's looking at a process that's running just fine and figuring ways to tweak and optimize it. While transformation changes might seem small, like removing a layer of the managerial approval to make operations more efficient, the changes they make can be radical and are critical to pushing organizations to entire industries forward. So transformation may be a small portion of something that's done in an organization, but it does make a difference in the organization. It does make the organization to be more effective and more efficient in the running of the operations of the organization. Whereas innovation, on the other hand, is the introduction of a totally new concept. Next slide, please. Something that's hard to conceptualize until it is actually done. For example, Uber was a true act of innovation in the transportation space. It didn't modify an existing system, but it introduced a totally new and groundbreaking concept that changed how we commute entirely. So we just pick up the phone, or on our phones, we try to get an Uber for us to take us from place to place. So we do not have to wait for a bus. We do not need to wait for a taxi anymore. So commuting has become very efficient because of the innovation that has been brought about. Unlike transformation, the effects of innovation is felt almost immediately because the change is so monumental. While this change is exciting and in cases like Uber extremely lucrative, it's not always necessary. So often, I work with businesses that are running time, energy, and resources in search of innovation to level up their business when transformation is what they really needed. Next slide, please. The solution to every problem isn't to carpet bomb the whole situation and introduce something new. Rather, that should be the last step of the process, or one that comes only when a clear, strong plan is in place. I advise organizations to work with to try out transformation. So where tweaks and adjustments can be made in the current business and invest in what they already have before going on a limb and seeking the bright, shiny, and new. Now we always jump to try to bring in something new without really trying to tweak and try to adjust to what we have, but we want to make more or bring in new programs or bring in new apps just to make sure that things are efficient. But we know that by transforming the current app or transforming the current program, that can also make the procedures and processes more efficient. Next slide, please. In business, when you look at transformation and innovation, the idea isn't if it's not broken, don't fix it. Because every process can stand a little improvement, but rather assess how broken it is. If you can fix it, transform it. And if you can't, then only you can innovate. Transformation and innovation goes hand in hand in digital mode. There's four main areas of digital transformation process. Next slide, please. It's process transformation, business model transformation, domain transformation, and cultural organizational digital transformation. Now, what is digital transformation? It is a process of using modern technology to create new or modify existing business processes, culture, and customer experiences. It equips organizations to keep up with competitors and meet changing market requirements. Now, we know if we are in business, we are very competitive, or we need to be very competitive to make sure that we are one step or even maybe 10 steps ahead of our competitors. So, therefore, we need to continuously make sure that we are creating, or not if creating, modifying our current systems to make sure that we are successful and efficient in our business processes. Now, the first step is process transformation. And process transformation deals with our strategic initiative aimed at improving the efficiency and effectiveness of a company operation. However, thorough review of existing processes and system with identifying areas for improvement and making changes to better achieve the company's goal. Again, here we talk about transformation and not innovation, Because if we can fix something and tweak it to achieve our company's goal, why not do that instead of bringing something totally new? The steps in business process transformation includes identifying the goals of digital transformation. And this includes, and we need to ask the question, is the company primarily trying to upgrade systems? Is the company incorporating new technology, adapting our processes to new organizational structure? And what has caused the need for this particular change? And the first step is to understand the reasons for the transformation. And this could be due to the need to upgrade systems or incorporate new technology. But it is important to have a clear understanding of the objectives of the transformation in order to ensure that the right changes are made. The next one is establishing a baseline metric. Now, when we establish our baseline metric, we need to measure the success of transformation. It is important to have a clear set of metrics to track. This should include the cost, the time, the number of errors, and other metrics that can be measured. Very importantly, we need to bring in all stakeholders. Now, we need to remember that it's not about changing the processes, but we need to include all our stakeholders in the processes. This should include seeking feedback from our employees, from our customers, and other stakeholders on what has worked well in the past and what they expect from the new process. Then we map out our best scenario. And when we map out our best scenario, we use a diagrammatic tool to create a visual representation of the ideal workflow path, including all the human and system tasks that needs to be performed. This will help the company understand and the full scope of transformation and identify any potential challenges or obstacles that might stand in the way. And the last step is going live and monitoring. Now, in any situation or in any program, we need to do a pilot testing. And this process should be introduced gradually using small teams being trained on the new processes. The progress of the transformation should be closely monitored, and any changes that need to be made should be made quickly in order to ensure the success. So these are the 5 steps in our business transformation process that could see success in any particular business. Now, the business model transformation, which is our next step, uses digital technology in order to transform the traditional business models. Now, for example, we went from Netflix, where they reinvented the video distribution, to Apple's reinvention of the music delivery, to Uber's reinvention of the taxi industry. Now, also, the insurance companies nowadays moved away and uses the data and analytics to unbundle insurance contract and charge customers by the mile or kilometer as a wholesale charge to the auto insurance business model. So the business model can also transform for any success in the organization. Then we have the domain transformation. And this particular area doesn't receive a lot of attention because new technologies have the abilities to redefine products and services. This form of wholesale transformation offers incredible opportunities for businesses to create new value. An example of the domain transformation works in the case of online retailer Amazon, where they have introduced the Amazon Web Service, which is the largest cloud infrastructure service provider in the world. Now, and as we all know that most companies and institutions are using some such thing as a cloud to back up your information and back up your data so that it does not get lost. Your next one is your cultural and organizational digital transformation. And this entails that a successful digital organization demands more than just updating technology or redesigning products of an organization. It's, it needs to bring in its internal values and behaviors if it can have a knock-on effect on the organization's culture. Negative repercussions range from slow adoption of digital technology to the loss of market competitiveness and inevitable failure of the initiative and lost productivity. So, therefore, the cultural and digital transformation also plays a very important role when it comes to digital transformation. We need to make sure that it fits into the culture of the organization. We also have risk associated with digital transformation. And the first one is a risk aversion. We become so content and comfortable with the program or situation that we are in that we become resistant to change. And we prefer to stick with the procedures that are familiar with rather taking the risk. We need to time and time reassure that the strategy will work. We need to give assurance to our people in the industry or in our organization that the company, that the procedures will work, the programs will work, and they need to take the leap to the unknown. The next one is a lack of digital skills. And because technology is changing every day, we need to address the gap in the workforce with regard to the digital skill set. And we need to ensure that we provide adequate training and guidance to the employees to use the tools effectively and adequately. Now, digital transformation requires a lot of funds, and therefore, we can have a lack of financial resources where the work of cost of digital transformation, you need to work it into your budget, which will take time in order to access as well. Many organizations seek investment purely for digital technology. And the last one is the lack of business resources. We need help from outside. So we need to source experts to assist with your implementation and training. And you need to work together with HR to fill in any knowledge gaps and boost your business with highly skilled individuals. The benefits of digital transformation outweigh these challenges. Transformation therefore takes time, moving from one state to another in a process. Innovation, on the other hand, usually refers to a sudden spark of creativity and the incipient actions that leads to implementing that spark into a company's strategy. There are various case studies that are brought out today that we're all familiar with, and that there are many organizations across different industries that have successfully transformed and innovated to stay competitive and meet the changing demands of their customers. And here are a few examples. Next slide, please. The next slide. Netflix, we are all familiar with, and we know that in the early 2000s, Netflix was a DVD rental service that faced intense competition from Blockbuster. However, the company recognized that the shift towards streaming video and invested heavily in developing its streaming services. Today, Netflix is the world's leading streaming entertainment service with over 200 million subscribers in more than 190 countries. Amazon. We're all familiar with Amazon, and we knew that they were an online bookseller in the mid 90s, but has since transformed into one of the world's largest online retailers, offering everything from groceries to electronics. And Amazon's success is due in part to its relentless focus on customer experience, including fast and reliable delivery, personalized recommendation, and easy returns. Airbnb. This has disrupted the hospitality industry by allowing individuals to rent out their homes to travelers, providing a more affordable and authentic travel experience. Now, we experience this on a daily basis because we know it happens all over the country. And this company has since expanded its offerings to include unique experiences and luxury accommodation and has grown to become one of the world's largest hospitality industry. And therefore, you see, there's many hotels and many guest houses that are closing down. Tesla has also revolutionized the automotive industry by developing electric cars with advanced technology and superior performance. The company has also developed a vertically integrated model, owning everything from a battery production to retail stores, which allows for greater control over customer experience. They are just a few examples of organizations that have successfully transformed and innovated in different industries. Each company identified a need or opportunity and invested in developing new products, services, or business models that meet their needs. But we look at companies that have went totally new and reinvented. And reinvention in business is the process of transforming a company's operation, strategy, and culture to adopt to changes in the market and stay competitive. These companies have went totally new to make sure that they remain competitive in the marketplace. Reinvention can involve making incremental changes to improve the efficiency and effectiveness, or it can involve more radical changes, such as entering new markets or developing new products and services. IBM, as your first example, in the 1990s, IBM was struggling to stay relevant as the personal computer became more popular. The company reinvented itself by shifting its focus from hardware to software and services. Today, IBM is a leader in cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and other cutting edge technology. Next slide, please. Nokia, and we're all familiar with Nokia, and we know that Nokia has taken the dip in the industry. And Nokia was once the largest mobile phone manufacturer, but the company struggled to compete with Apple and Android smartphones. Nokia reinvented itself by selling its mobile phone business to Microsoft and shifting its focus to telecommunications equipment and software. Today, Nokia is a major player in the 5G market. Apple. Apple is known for the constant innovation, but the company has also reinvented itself several times over the years. In the early days, Apple was a computer company, but reinvented itself with the introduction of the iPod and the iTunes. Later, Apple invented itself again with the launch of the iPhone, which revolutionized the smartphone market. And we're all familiar with the Apple iPhone. Netflix began the DVD rental service, but the company reinvented itself by embracing streamlining technology and investing heavily in the original content. Today, Netflix is the world's leading streamline or streaming entertainment service that we cannot do without, because when we want relaxation, we switch on the TV and we need to relax with Netflix. Amazon. Amazon started off as a bookstore, but the company has since reinvented itself as one of the world's largest online retailers, offering everything from groceries to electronics. It has also diversified into other areas such as cloud, computing, and streaming entertainment. These are a few examples that demonstrate that reinvention is a critical part of staying competitive in today's fast changing business environment. Companies that are willing to embrace change and take calculated risks are more likely to succeed in the long run. Now, in conclusion, innovation and reinvention are critical for businesses to survive and thrive in today's rapidly changing market. Organizations that are able to transform their business practices and adapt to new challenges and opportunities are more likely to succeed in the long run. By embracing innovation, Companies can develop new products and services, improve processes, and enhance the customer experience. Reinventing themselves can also allow businesses to pivot new markets and technologies, enabling them to stay competitive and relevant. The examples provided demonstrate that successful transformation can take many forms, from embracing new technologies to rethinking business models. The key is to open to change and have the agility to pivot and adapt where necessary. Innovation and reinvention are essential for businesses to stay ahead of the curve and remain relevant in today's competitive market. By embracing change and investing in transformation, organizations can position themselves for the long-term success. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. It was my pleasure to deliver the speech. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome Mrs. Krishnaswamy to deliver the speech.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Awesome. Good morning, everyone. And this is Kirti here. And it's night 12 o'clock for me. So if I look a little sleepy, I'm very sorry. Let's go with the slides. Can you please go with the slides, please? Today, my topic would be more focused on the finance and how transformation in finance industry, especially in options industry, that would be the main focus today that I would be going over. Can you please go ahead and move to the next slide? A few words about me. I'm currently in US in Chicago, and I work at OCC. Moved to Chicago 22 years ago. I did my bachelor's back in India and my MBA here. I've worked in several industries from Expedia, auctions companies to craft foods, and right now I'm in a banking industry. So in my free time, I love cooking. I love reading and studying something new. Currently, I did my CSPO and my certification in Scrum Master, which lead to transformation in finance with the banking industry on the IT side. Can you move to the next slide, please? Like the options trading is mainly OCC does options trading, and we do it in a big volume, like a volume of 4.5 billion options in a month, and that's the highest for the month of March. So when we do such huge transactions, there's a lot of chances that we go into cyber attacks and other form of attacks. So the company OCC, they do provide us with a virtual, computer, which is VDI, where we can log in from any part of the world and work in the system, and nothing gets like affected. None of the data can be stolen, and the chances of cyber attacks are very low. And we do work very closely with SEC on regulation sides. We have to, work with them and see what are the regulations. Currently, we are focusing on moving from data centers. We do have data centers, but we are moving most of the data into cloud due to the cost, and we do use AWS and IBM for our data centers. And my topic today would be going more on information security management and what are the risks that are in it. So the main thing of the stages in the ISRM is going through, like, identify the assets. What are the data centers and how vulnerable are they? And if there's a financial systems, you have to be very clear about what are the regulatory requirements. And if there is a reporting problem, then, you have to be very um, clear about that. Otherwise, you will have an enormous cost that you have to pay to the government. Then we do identify vulnerabilities. What are the vulnerabilities when we do build these things, and identify any threats, and work on that. When we do build these softwares, these people, it's a $500 million project, and my job is mainly to do the budget for those projects. And we do spend a lot on cyber security. We hire a lot of people, and to keep in the data, especially the social securities and the information of the customers that we receive from the banking sector should be very safe. And we do use a lot of softwares to protect them, and one of them is the NIST framework, which we do use in the cybersecurity. And the NIST is mainly used to protect it comes under the FISMA compliance. I'm not sure if those are the terms that they use in India, because in US, lot of importance is given to the regulations. If a company doesn't fall good under the regulations, it's very difficult to conduct business. And banking industry as such is prone to a lot of attacks, and we do maintain a very high level of controls. One of the controls we do is the PO, like purchase orders, which people do when they do buy stuff. It's a three-way process, and that's one of the things that goes into a big transformation right now. And currently we do look into those things. As a finance manager, my day usually starts with several meetings. We go through the cost centers, cost of the cost centers. If there is more than like 3 million, $4 million, then we have to create a change request, let the executive management and everybody, including the board of directors, give the approval to go ahead and buy that. We cannot go ahead and purchase something like, for something that's more than a $500,000. And we do work closely with the product owners and executive directors to go over all the deltas. I do build a lot of analysis and scenarios to go over the delta of actuals versus budget, because sometimes we do budget and then the cost of the data warehousings and people and hiring and everything goes up. And that's one of the things that you go over when you go over a transformation process. As I said, it might take several years. It's like a 4-year project right now, and we have to keep in check that the cost falls in within the $500 million. $500 million is a big amount for just a software transformation, and it does include a lot of cost, people, time, and the project should be done within the scheduled time. Otherwise, it would not fall under the budget. So those are the things that I do view, work closely with the management, give the presentations to the board of directors, and see that, I do come up with the proper stories, work with the BAs, and ask them several questions. That's one of the things that we have to do while we are going through a transformation. Before, I used to work with Expedia, where there's a lot of changes, but as they said, it's more innovative. Expedia, though it looks like a travel company, it's more a software company. So every company, search companies, Google, most of the IT companies, like say Google, Microsoft, and Expedia, they all build in search engines, use AI and predictive analytics and everything to see how people search. And, based on that, they do the marketing. So they use innovative technology, they use transformation processes and everything to go over and, figure out how to make their company more profitable. Um, My final slide shows you what are the 10 financial controls, and mainly it's security is a big thing when it comes to banking, healthcare, and industries like that. But when it comes to IT companies, search engines, and everything, they don't care that much about the security. It's more on the data, how they tell the story, evolving technologies, and global expansion is the main thing. And it's up to our finance, if you want to work in the financial sector, or to work in the IT industry or in cybersecurity, you have to keep upskilling yourself, and to keep up with the processes. Right now AI is taking over everything, but still they need people to work on AI. And with AI coming in, cybersecurity is in a big demand currently. Thank you, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to explain everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, now, the Bhuvaneshwari Yoga. The Bhuvaneshwari Yoga is the founder of NIT Square, headquartered in Bangalore. The Bhuvaneshwari is an accomplished business development personality having several years of experience in revenue, building and maintaining client relationships. A creative and dynamic personality, the proven expertise in consistently penetrating new markets to ensure sustainable revenue growth. The focus is primarily on startup India and startup India. The Bhuvaneshwari program plays a major role in incubation, mentorship, and support, innovation and product development, internship and training program, intellectual property rights, international collaboration. In addition to this, the Bhuvaneshwari runs the charity organization Raj Choir Charity Foundation to provide free education, healthcare, and agricultural support to the needy. I would like to welcome the Bhuvaneshwari Yoga to deliver this message.
Very good morning to everyone. I am audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Now you are audible.
Very good morning to everyone. Thank you, ma'am, for a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much. I would like to thank all the dignitaries, principal, Kirti ma'am, organizing committee, who from the beginning, coordinating with so well with MIT Square to conduct this event. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your effort, and your team members, HODs, faculties, all dignitaries and participants for this wonderful event. And I'm sure, the keynote speakers and everyone, giving a very good, wonderful information. I just loved it. It is very great going. All the best, and I would like to wish you all a very happy and success event. So before I would like to conclude, I would like to talk about MIT Square and Raj Square. I am the co-founder of MIT Square, and along with my son, Dr. Mithilesh Satyanarayan, we started MIT Square during the pandemic. And we have the services like incubation, innovation, invention, intellectual properties, internships, and training. Industry connects, image consultancy, interiors, investment, entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship. When it comes to intellectual property, you all know, like when you have a new product or innovations, so we would like to implement on the patent filing, which is very, very important. So we do hand holding from the from the start to the end. So we support you with that intellectual property fixing, and we have the internship skills also, like where we support the students, PDF, everyone. So in the internship, like we have a domestic as well as international, where we take the students, along with us for the internship, where we can have the abroad internship, like where you get more support and more, like global awareness and other things, like where they get the support. So we handhold everyone, like, from the start, that is from the scratch to the end, with the funding support and everything. Along with that, we have a Rajkai Charity Foundation, where we support women empowerment, education, agri-tech, health tech, and transgenders. So we all would like to have, like full support for Rajkai Charity Foundation. And also we would like to have, good collaboration for MIT Square, for, bringing together, it could be about innovation, or it could be a technology transformation, anything, like where Dr. Mitlesh can support, handhold you, and we can have a faculty development program, and we can have student development program and exchange programs as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, one and all, and very happy that the best wishes for this event. Thank you, Kirti ma'am, and the team for the excellent organizing this program. Thank you so much. And for the details, we have everything in your folder. You can just go through our website and get back to us at any time. Thank you so much. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts. We are towards the end of the session. I request K. Shyam, Assistant Professor, Department of Economics, to express the words of gratitude. Good morning to all. I am really honored to express my sense of gratitude for this tremendous happiness. It is definitely at the end of the day, the Krishnaswamy College component. As we are hosting this signature conference in collaboration with MIT Square on Sri Sankarlal Shasun Jain College prohibited to highlight for the first time. At this point in time, I want to thank our staff and directors for giving us permission to host this conference. I am delighted to have a team who has always been in the line, guiding us in all our levels. I am happy now to express my gratitude to our beloved principal for being a pillar of strength and supporting all aspects related to this conference. The motivation and encouragement given by our principal is one of the prime reasons for success of this conference. Our keynote speaker, Dr. and important state regarding management and development, social university Victoria, University Technology, and Sankarlal, I am a senior Chennai, is a great plan for the country. Thank you for inviting us. I would like to personally thank us, Vocational Regulated Business, Taxpayer Foundation, and Translation, Financial and IT Cloud Transformation, OCC, for delivering special access. Your task and details is related to this is the Reinvention and my scenario. It has been my interest and learning experience for college collaboration, MIT Sankarlal and Shri Sundarbai for Reinvention. Thank you, Professor, for providing we look forward to such collaboration in future. I take this opportunity to acknowledge the valuable support given by the heads of various departments of St. Krishnaswamy College for Women. I would be very if I forget to acknowledge the sense of gratitude, the commitment of them by the organizing team. I thank all my dear faculty members and administrative staff of our college for their unflinching support. From the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank our learning participants in various institutions who have taken their research articles that have been presented in the dedicated conference. Thank you, dear participants, for the event and the industry development. Without your support, this conference would not have been grand success. Once again, I thank each and every one of you. Thank you. Thank you, Madam. With this words of gratitude, we are come to the end of the inaugural session. I request participants to have refreshment available in room number 35, ground floor. The technical session will start at 11:15 a.m. I and presenters of all the plans to kindly make a note of the venue for presentation. Track 2, wish auditorium. Track 4, room number GP. Track 5, kindly join the portal link for online presentation. Thank you.